Immortals of Aveum, is it worth buying? That's what we're going to cover in this video. We're going to react to ACG, Gameranx, and SkillUp. I've already watched a video a little bit by Luke Stevens, so I didn't want to bring that one to the table. I have not watched these ones. Let's go ahead and get started.
Have you ever wanted to be a spellcasting Iron Man or play Casting of Duty? Immortals is a first-person spell shooting game by Ascendant Studios that aims to be just that. Immortals throws you right into the magic slippers of the aw shucks, no one gets hurt thief Jack, whose relaxed life is interrupted when he watches friends die, his small village destroyed, or city, and then fast forward 5 years and he's smoking and a grizzled veteran of the fight. Even though the initial tutorial area is pretty boring, the rest of it, the moment you get into battles, feels good. It's fast like a Call of Duty, and you get the burst ability as well almost instantly, and later you even get a Featherfall kind of floating spell to be used in combats. Using these in combinations on enemies feels good. The first time you burst over someone's head and turn around and drop an Iron Man laser, two-handed beam weapon into their surprised face, feels incredible. 25 RGB spells, red, green, and blue, and 80 connected talents that you can attach to trees. I do want to point out the higher up of the spells are fine, but most of them are the unimaginative types, adding damage to something or altering its speed. The gauntlet types that you can get change up the attack style of the colors, and each has 3 basic types. You've got different wide-range shots, sort of homing shots for the green, and then lasers for the blue, but different gauntlets on each one of those colors can slightly affect that change. You start to realize that there's this almost linear feeling to everything. Switching around and figuring out what you can do is enjoyable, but there's a heavy bit of a feeling of repetition that creeps in everything you read or do. And this starts in the game pretty quickly. Now, if you like first-person platforming, this is for you. If you don't, it's going to be a lesson in frustration, not because they're hard, but because there's a lot. There are rewards that are very powerful, though, and that can be enticing to force yourself through it. It's really going to be up to you and what you like in these kind of games. The game doesn't lack for stuff to do, but it's very linear. Between the enemy battles, the main missions, and the puzzles all over the place,
I don't mind linear. The more that these games have become linear, for me personally, I have enjoyed them a lot more. That's just me. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below.
Can really try out different magic combination and the logic challenge. It's just that every single thing I did or place I went to, I started to feel deja vu. And it was mainly because of the rule of 3 that sort of crops up. Nothing was particularly world-shattering or bad. It's just you could almost identify each place. Oh, forest. Oh, lava place. Oh, palace. Somehow, like the old 3-level types we saw in platformers, got into the game. Despite all the switching in the enemies, it does sort of just become an RGB battle system. Even the bosses are usually find a color of a spell that hurts them and shoot them in the face. Or a weak spot, break it, and then shoot them in the face. Or dodge a bunch and then shoot them in the face. Now, graphically, does shooting them in the face look good? The majority of Immortals actually looks really good.
What it sounds like he's saying is that Immortals of Aveum is extremely simple. Now I understand the Call of Duty analogy there. So, I mean, sometimes I want to play Desert Storm Insurgency. Other times I just want to hop in, shoot some people, play Call of Duty. And this game might be for you. I mean, if you're coming into this game, you don't really want to think a lot, just want to shoot some magical beams at monsters, this game might be for you. Let's shift over to Gameranx and see what they have to say.
So despite a generic name and maybe not looking too cool at first glance, I came away surprised. I had a great time with this game. It's just a regular old-fashioned video game, an adventure you play through from start to finish. It's a new world, new characters, new lore, and some fun action. If you like single-player action campaigns, this one might be worth checking out at some point. It's got some things I want to talk about, some things that might really bother or annoy some people, but again, I enjoyed playing through this one.
Okay, but my problem is price point. Having a really fun game that's really simple and fun, like we've been mentioning, it's the price point. What is a $60, $70 game plus tax? So that's the problem that I have, are games that are coming out. Nothing against this game because it does look fun, but the problem I'm having is, once again, 12 hours of gameplay. Is it an extraordinary, great experience for 12 hours? Because not only is time limited, it's extremely valuable. And spending that much money on these games, are you getting that experience that you deserve for that amount of money? I mean, it looks fun and it may seem like a mindless game, but I don't know if it's worth the price point.
But just so you know, no spoilers or anything like that in this video, and we've been playing a review copy on PlayStation 5. There are, like I said, some good, compelling character moments, a twist or two that are interesting, but maybe don't quite hit super hard.
Do you guys feel like a lot of games are kind of heading in that direction, so then that way they don't offend people? That is Gameranx. Let's move over to Skill Up, see what they say.
Immortals of Aveum. No one really expected much from this one, did they? I mean, it's tough to be an okay game in 2023. They're just getting squeezed into obscurity by AAA banger after AAA banger. Oh, what's that? You just dropped 150 hours into Baldur's Gate and you're looking forward to some gaming downtime? Well, say hello to my little friend, FromSoft. They have something coming out this week.
Yes.
Fancy a 200-hour trip to the stars after that? Bethesda's got you covered. Fighting game fan? Mortal Kombat arrives just
So
about
many
the same time
games.
you might. Where does that slot into your budget? Either your wallet budget or your time budget? Because Lord knows most of these games demand a hell of a lot more hours than they do dollars. I suspect that many people won't like this. I suspect many will find its action a little one note, its visuals a little garish, its story is a little unwieldy, and its characters are a little, yeah, cringe. But I suspect just as many people will enjoy it for all of those things. Sometimes it's nice to play a dumb shooty game that doesn't ask much of you, and this is absolutely that. Sometimes it's nice to soak up big shiny visuals and be dazzled by an endless cannonade of particle effects, and this is absolutely that. Sometimes it's fun to laugh along with dialogue that is clearly not trying to take itself too seriously, to laugh at the jokes rather than with them, knowing full well that the writers are probably doing the same thing. Outside of performance, I will say that I had 0 bugs the entire playthrough. No audio glitches or gameplay bugs stopping me from progressing, no NPCs bugging out on terrain, nothing. It was a truly watertight experience, very polished, and I think that Ascendant Studios devs should absolutely be congratulated because, yeah, you can really tell they put the work in to test this shit, and the results are very impressive. What the hell are you actually doing in this game? Well, Immortals of Aveum is a broadly linear first-person magic shooty game with some very light puzzle solving and exploration powered by some Metroidvania unlocks. Of the 12 to 15 hour runtime for this game, I'd estimate about a third of that is spent in cutscenes or story moments, a third of that is spent going from place to place through either exploration or puzzle solving, and the final third is all the pew-pew.
The problem that I have is Armored Core 6. On top of that, if you are an Xbox fan or you own an Xbox, you have Starfield coming out. You have Assassin's Creed Mirage coming out on multiple platforms. There's so many games, just like Skill Up mentioned in the beginning of this video, that it's really hard to fit this in my opinion, at this time. Maybe if this came out last year, I think this would be a really hot title. But in 2023, there's just so many games. On top of that, you have Spider-Man also. So it's, I don't know. I think eventually I would like to get this. Definitely keep watching more gameplay. It's just not going to be for me for a day one purchase. What are your thoughts? I know I've said a lot of times, leave a comment below, but I'm really interested to hear your guys' viewpoint on this. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you subscribe. I want to thank Skill Up, ACG, and Gameranx for providing awesome videos, whether they recommend or don't recommend Immortals of Aveum. So to me, this is kind of like a review, but also at the same time, a before you buy and a reaction. We got it all in this one video, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.